Welcome and welcome back, you guys. My name is Colette, and I just wanted to do a short, brief video about three books that I personally think you should read by Black authors since we are in Black History Month. I know this video is a little late, but we're already here, so stick around. Okay, so the first book I wanted to talk about was Love Radio by Ebony Lanelle. This book is a YA. Um, this gave me all the nostalgic feels of the books I read in the early 2000s in high school, late 99s, late 90s. And this follows Prince and Danny as they discover themselves and have their first love. And it is such a cute book. Honestly, I wish I would have had something like this when I was in high school. This was fantastic. In high school, I was reading adults. I wasn't reading about teenagers besides Tracy. And y'all know who Tracy, if you know, you know. You know who Tracy is. But I highly recommend this. I would recommend this to kids. There is no graphic sex or anything like that. This is strictly a YA, a true YA in my opinion. Danny is very much, what's the word I would say? Danny is in her own world. She doesn't really talk to a lot of people, hang out with a lot of people. Prince is actually more popular. He helps host a radio program that he got through his uncle. And so people know more of him. He's had a huge crush on her forever. And he finally works up the nerve to kind of talk to her and ask her out. And the story progresses from there. It is such a cute book. Again, highly recommend. I think this would be great for teenagers and or adults. This is super cute. I loved it. I think you'd really enjoy this. Love Radio by Ebony Lanelle. Okay, so the next book that I have, honestly, is a pivot point in her series. So, Lessons from a Hidden Treasure by Antoinette Sherell. This book follows Treasure and Pierre's love story. This is new adult. So between 18 and 22, I think, is the ages for new adult. There is graphic scenes in this. If you're okay with your kid reading that, then go for it. But I personally wouldn't recommend it for a teenager. That's just me. This follows Treasure and Pierre. Now, I have to say, if you're going to read this book and then you want to continue the series, then I would recommend starting with Savvy's book, which you see on the screen. I have it there. Savvy's book starts the series. This book literally pivots from one of the characters in Savvy's series to his own series. Treasure and Pierre. Treasure is trying to find herself, her family. She lost both of her parents and moved to this new town. She had found out that her dad didn't raise her. She grew up with her stepdad and her mom. Those were her parents. She then found out her biological father actually had another daughter. And so she moved to this new town to kind of find her because she had no one after her parents had passed. And there she meets Pierre. And the story progresses from there. This book was so well written. This was my introduction to Antoinette Sherell. She put her foot in this. She did an amazing job. The growth that you see with those characters, the way that you feel reading their love story, you felt everything with them. You grew with them. You understood why they did what they did, even if you didn't agree, which I have to say with Antoinette Sherell, some of her characters, they're not even morally great. They just unhinged. But you can actually understand, recognize, see why they make those decisions. And again, whether or not you agree, you get it. You understand it. And I think she does a very good job with Pierre and Treasure and how they communicate with one another, how they develop their relationship, how they grew into the love, because it wasn't a love at first sight type of deal. It wasn't a immediate attraction between them. They grew into that. And I love that you were able to get that journey, go on that journey with them. So Again, Lessons from a Hidden Treasure. This is actually available on Kindle Unlimited if you do have that, but I would highly recommend it. Again, if you do want to continue with the series, because she does have more books that come after that, then you would need to start with Savvy's book. I would highly recommend doing the whole series. Top tier. Fantastic. Now, I do want to give you a heads up as well. The beginning of the book, they talk about some things. Excuse me. In the beginning of the book, they talk about some things that you're not privy to, because that happened in Savvy's series. It's Savvy's first trilogy. It doesn't take away from the story of Pierre and Treasure. Again, this was a pivot book, so their story is their story. You're just seeing how it unfolds and how they got to where they get to in Relic's story. So, Lessons from a Hidden Treasure. Loved it, loved it, loved it. Also, look at the cover. Is this not gorgeous? Hardcover. Isn't it fantastic? Oh my God. Yeah. I had her sign it for me at Black Romance Book Festival. Lessons from a Hidden Treasure. Highly recommend. You guys, and my final book, the third book I'm recommending, honestly is one of my favorite books ever. The Rage of Dragons by Evan Winter. This book, this is for my fantasy lovers. This book, I have to find the words. This book blew my mind. It starts slow, or you think it starts slow, but you realize you need all of those nuggets to be able to follow the story. There was nothing in there. There wasn't, to me, there wasn't a lot of fluff. A lot of the information he gives you in the story helps you see the bigger picture as you progress through the story. So this follows Tao. Tao, in this society, they have a caste system, and Tao is a lesser. That's what they're called. And everybody has to fight in the military. So once they go, they're training, him and his friend. His dad is a trainer for people that are going into the military. And he tells his friend, hey, I love this girl. I don't want to be in the military. I want to be a farmer. Okay? I'm a lesser anyway. Me and her could be happy and go have some kids and farm. That's what he wants to do. I'm here for you. I get it. I understand. So he then tells his friend, go ahead, when we go to this training thing to join the army, break my leg so that way I don't have to fight and I could go marry the love of my life and be happy. And his friend is like, ah, whatever, who cares, right? They go to this training tournament thingamajiggy. I don't know what it's called. I can't remember. Something happens. It turns Tao into all he can focus on is getting his revenge. Okay? This is a revenge plot. And he's so single-minded about his revenge, he's missing all of the signs of everything else that's going on in Empire. Mind you, Tao is not a strong fighter. You see his fighting abilities grow. You see how he realizes there are a lot more things that the government isn't telling us, like, hello, reality. You see why controlling the dragons, because the Rage of Dragons, there is dragons in this. It's not a focal point, but there is a reason why it's called the Rage of Dragons. You see why controlling the dragons may or may not be good or bad. There are so many plots, so many. The story is intricate. Like he did a fantastic job with this. He takes you on a journey. This is the first book. The second book is I'm sorry, not the Rage of Dragons. The Vengeance of Fires. Fires of Vengeance. That's the name. When he gets to the end and he's realizing what's going on, the promotion he gets, the love interests, the friends or people he thought were friends, all of that plays into this. This man takes you on a journey. Evan Winter said, you want fantasy? I got you. Fantasy. This is a fantasy that can withstand time. This, to me, is a modern classic. I'm going to stand on that. This is fantastic. Now, the series isn't finished. I may change my mind if he finishes the series and I'm like, no, it's not. But as of right now, where we stand with the first two books, this is a modern classic. The second book is even better. The Rage of Dragons by Evan Winter. You won't be disappointed. Pay attention to everything. Even if you think it's slow, pay attention to everything. I promise you, he's telling you for a reason. Okay? Rage of Dragons, Evan Winter. All right. So those are 3 books that I would highly recommend reading by Black authors during Black History Month. Again, I know it's the end of the month. I'm here. So if you have any questions or if you have any other books that you would recommend, definitely let me know. I'm always adding to my TBR. I just wanted to give you a little bit of the books that I read. Romance, fantasy, those are my 2 top genres. So obviously I'm going to recommend those. But again, you guys, thank you so much for watching. Please like, share, subscribe, follow me on Instagram and Facebook, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much, you guys. Bye.